All right. Well, uh, I'm glad that I'm the last because I'm gonna try to make it. I don't know. It's gonna be a little bit different because I was planning to. Oh, so first of all, let me just put my timer here because I don't want to run over. But yeah, I wanted to like basically do what we usually do, which is like we show something about verify. So I have runner and testing, and I was like, well, I can show a runner or testing topic, but I was talking with Nadia, and we said like, well, let's talk about something different for this one. So uh, I basically yeah decided that I was going to talk about something that I'm very passionate about, which is doing contributions to the UI code of GitLab
Cool
as
it down,
a
Sam.
designer.
Cool it down.
All right. So why this presentation? So there's two reasons why kind of like I wanted to do this. One is awareness. So I think that everyone is aware, but not fully aware that everyone at GitLab and at the larger GitLab community can make contributions. We are open source in many areas, and everyone can make the product better. And this, of course, includes all the UXers, everyone who is in this call, right? So I wanted to dive deeper and explain what this means. I wanted to show that even tiny contributions can make a difference. And then, of course, this is kind of baked into our values. So we have the results and iteration value, and many of those things include things like dog fooding, and especially there's many things within those values like having bias for action, ownership, not waiting for small fixes, and doing small merge requests. So this is basically something that's baked into our culture, and I wanted to share this as part of that value package that we were always kind of like preaching and working with. So let's first address the elephant question in the room. So there's an elephant like chasing these guys, and that this is gonna be a similar type of question because like I'm pretty sure you have seen this question many times, which is should designers code, right? So many of you guys have the camera off right now, but I'm pretty sure this is your face right now. It's like, oh God, like this question again. And the short answer is no, I don't think designers should code, to be honest. It's very nice when they do, but I honestly believe that designers are like multi-skilled professionals that very rarely have a homogeneous skills within a company. So if you think about any tech company, design professionals are the most unique professionals within the company. They're always different. They always bring different things to the table. They have many skills and that are very rarely repeating across like the individuals that are part of a design team. So they are great for design companies because they basically bring diversity, which is what makes a product very strong when it comes to addressing different audiences and solving different problems. We definitely all share methodologies and we traverse problems in similar ways. Basically, in the case of GitLab, we do it because we have structures and we have things and processes that allow us to work in similar ways. But it's very unlikely that we are all solving problems in the same way. And I think that's what's great about being a designer. Everyone solves their problems in different ways. Everyone is approaching things in different ways and brings different skills to the table. And I love that about being a designer. And I wanted to actually kind of like dive deeper into this because like coding is such a great skill, but it's not the only skill that can make you different as a designer. There's many extra skills that can make you very unique as a designer. So there's visual design, there's copywriting, there's product management skills, there's communication, business. All these things can make you a powerful designer. So when you hear that narrative of like, oh, you should code, like it's not because like that's gonna make you unique. It's basically because it's one of the many skills that can make you powerful as a designer. But of course, again, I don't feel that designers should code. They should if they want to, and if they like it, but it's not necessary to excel as a designer. Okay, with that question out of the way, I have another question, which is, should designers understand code as a concept? And personal opinion disclaimer, like this is gonna be very opinionated, and I'm gonna say yes. That's definitely a yes. Especially at a company like GitLab, we're a technical company where our audience are developers, and of course we gotta understand what code is and how it impacts the job of developers and how it's used to build products, web products and digital products. And in the case of GitLab, I think specifically like being knowledgeable about Git, you know, I mean, we have Git in the name of the company, so like it makes sense that you understand that concept, right? Again, this is a personal opinion, but I definitely feel that throughout my career, throughout the years that I have been working on technology, I feel that when you understand well how like these technologies are impacting and how things are built, and how they're impacting the overall product, you get a better sense of what you're doing as a designer, and you can design better because you understand like maybe what you're doing, it's not feasible, or it's hard to achieve, or it's hard to implement or execute. And I think many people are gonna say like, oh, I really don't think that I understand that well. But I can tell you that you are in the 99th percentile, right? Like you understand this better than anyone else in the world. And of course, within that 1%, there's like a lot of ranges of skills, but we definitely are in a position where we have unique knowledge about these things. So what's this presentation really about, right? Like many of you probably are like this. Sofia Vergara here saying here, this is so slow. And don't worry, it's gonna get faster right now. So this is about how to contribute UI code at your skill level. So this is not about like inviting people to, hey, start like making code contributions, even if you don't have the knowledge or if you are not interested. It's about making contributions to this avenue that we have to contribute to the product at any skill level that you have, or any level of compromise that you want to put into these, right? So I put three things here. One is, I don't have the skills or the bandwidth to make UI contributions. The second one is, I don't have the skills, but I want to learn how to make UI contributions. And the third one is, I have the skills and I want to keep learning how to make UI code contributions. So let's start with the first one. So you don't have the skills and you don't have the bandwidth, and perhaps you don't have the interest. That's totally fine, you know? So be like Dr. Nick Riviera, like call the doctor, you know? And if you see something that looks like a small and easily fixable UI bug, please create the issue and share it in the UX channel, so other people can see it, and someone like me or someone else can just take a look at it. And if it's easy and fixable, we can fix it. You know, so I think it starts by, if you see something, say something. Again, you don't need to fix it. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, simply ask someone else to look at it. And I truly believe that finding the bug is 50% of the job, literally. Like, it's harder to find these things than to solve these things, you know? So if you find them, like, please report them, because sometimes finding these small issues that compromise the UX of the website, it's pretty hard. So don't let it go, please report it. The second one is, I don't have the skills, but I want to learn how to make UI code contributions. Perfect, that's amazing. And I really, really appreciate if you are in this mindset. Start by getting familiar with the most important pieces to do the UI code contributions. You can message me at any time and I'll help you and I reply. I want to do more things in these areas. There's already a channel with some technical videos, but I want to put some handbook pages around these with some tutorials. So stay tuned about these. But the big picture here is, you just need to get familiar with 4 things. Get familiar with the GTK. Get familiar with a code editor, preferably Visual Studio Code, because that's kind of like the industry standard. Definitely get familiar with Git, because that's what we do here at GitLab. And then learn the front-end technologies, HTML, HAML, and SCSS, which is the prep processor for CSS that we have. These things are not that hard, and you can read a little bit about them and you will get them very easily. And start small. There's a lot of opportunities from bad margins in certain areas to bad UI text. Those things are pretty easy to solve and fix. So it's just about developing the mindset. It's not easy at the beginning, but it gets easier and easier. So it's just about the mindset, and that's basically you reading the mindset, right? Like developing the mindset and getting into the mindset of this is not gonna be easy at the beginning, but it could get easier and it could have a big impact in the product. And the third one is I have the skills and I want to keep learning how to make UI code contributions. Perfect. Just keep doing that. But also please teach others and spread your knowledge. Teaching is, in my opinion, one of the best ways to learn. So yeah, testify, preach, be the person who go and explains other people how to make things. And I think that's gonna take us a long way. And it's gonna help us move forward the product in that final kind of like layer of polish that it requires. And I want to mention that designers at GitLab are already doing it. So just last week, Nadia S and Holly, they did contributions, which are small contributions, but they have a profound impact in the product, right? So Nadia's contribution was changing a confusing text on a confirmation dialog. It's just changing a text, and it can so profoundly change the product and make it better. And it's really a tiny change. And Holly picks a margin on the issues board that was kind of like hiding some stuff. And again, that's like little stuff. It's just a change in the CSS code, but it increases the quality of the product overall. And if we fix a lot of these issues, then we raise the quality of the product by a lot. Okay, and I want to address something else, and is why this? Why not let front-end developers fix these issues, right? Like they are clearly better and more capable than any of us when it comes to fixing these issues. I mean, that's their job and they are great at it. So why should we put any effort or bandwidth into this? So first of all, let me clarify something. Your focus should be your design responsibilities. I'm not suggesting here like go and start coding and making UI contributions. That's not what I'm saying. If you don't have bandwidth, you shouldn't be doing this. But if you have a little bit of bandwidth and you can objectively assess that this small fix is gonna create a positive return in the sense that like you spend this time here and it's actually gonna have a very good impact in the product, maybe you can make that contribution. But definitely be aware that if your time is better spent somewhere else or on something else, then you probably should be doing that. So that's kind of I kind of want to get that out of the way. But the real reason for this is that I think, and this is again like personal opinion, designers are excellent at context switching. We are way better than many other people in the tech industry when it comes to jumping from problem to problem and like switching our context multiple times a day. And what's a small change for a designer in terms of context, it can be highly decontextualizing for a developer, and context switching is more expensive to a developer. So if we say like, hey, front-end developer, could you fix this small CSS issue? Yes, they can, but it's gonna like put them out of their, focus zone. They are gonna get out of the zone, and it's gonna be more costly in terms of what they're doing, which is features and like developing like very important things for the product. So that's one reason. And I think that the other reason is that designers are generally more skilled and patient when it comes to the fit and finish phase. We're more willing to test pixel differences, reevaluating minor visual differences, and kind of like finding those contrasting things in the UI. So we have a lot of UI skill when it comes to finalizing and polishing. And I think that's why this is important for us to make this type of contributions. And what's the impact? I think the impact, I wanted to summarize it as the fit and finish developer theory, which is Sid has mentioned several times that the average amount of MRs per developer at GitLab right now is about 12 MRs per release. So if we as a department, we contributed and merged 12 small UI fixes per release, we're effectively adding with our efforts an extra headcount of development. I know we are not like creating like massive amounts of development contributions. So it's not the regular development contributions, but they're very significant for the final UI and UX. And I definitely think that they have an impact in the experience. So the way that I see it is like we are adding this new person, a virtual hypothetical person who is the fit and finish developer, and it's one extra headcount. Just think about it that way. It's like this person who is doing 12 small UI fixes per release. That's like having an extra developer, and we have 60 people in our department. So like I think that's something that's very feasible. But anyways, that's what I wanted to share today. That's the fit and finish developer. It doesn't exist. It's all of us. So please be that person. And yeah, send me a message if you want to talk more about this. I'm happy to keep working on this and like coach anyone who wants to get into this. Thank you.